Okay, so this is our presentation on basically on different impacts that climate change has, and so our focus is on how climate change is going to impact locust swarms. And so it's by Benson, Haden, Kieron, and Jessie. So the first thing is, so what is a locust? So a locust is a large herbivorous insect, and so a locust is actually it's a type of grasshopper with the main difference in locusts having two behavioral states compared to grasshoppers only having one. So these states are solitary and gregarious. So locusts are solitary when their population density is low, and so they become gregarious when their population density is high. So as you can see, locusts and grasshoppers look pretty much identical despite some differences in color. And so what are locust swarms? So locust swarms are when massive amounts of locusts group together and they migrate around to consume resources together. And so these swarms can form when something like sudden rainfall occurs, which gives the locusts resources to reproduce. So as locusts join to eat, this causes even more locusts to become attracted due to their gregarious behavior.
Hello, this is Benson, and I'm going to be talking about the impacts of climate change on locusts. So, with climate change and the changing temperatures throughout the world, with rising temperatures in northern parts of Africa, the ecosystem have been shaped to allow a locust population to grow and blossom, which causes irregular locust emergences that have affected many regions. One of the main things we can see is the amounts of rain throughout the northern regions of Africa, where since locusts thrive, they emerge through irregular rainfalls. They have been able to swarm greater due to the greater amount of rainfalls in the changing climate. And what has changed? So here we can see the life cycle of locusts, where they after uh, after a favorable environment, which is rainfalls, they're able to grow and swarm. And larger swarms of locusts have appeared in recent years, expanding the habitat due to climate change. And the areas of being afflicted have also changed due to expansion of certain weather patterns that have favored their growth.
So what else has changed? Due to the low mountain ranges that's located between them, lower temperatures in the northern regions have caused a lot more precipitation in the southern regions. So what can we expect? Altering the locust habitat could possibly result in adaptations and migrations of the locust. In order to survive and change, locusts could find more suitable environments in which they can thrive in, thus spreading far beyond their original habitats. Since temperature and rainfall have direct effects on desert locust development, these results in changes to the life cycle that make the swarms more difficult to track.
I'm Kieran, and moving on to effects on people and wildlife. In areas such as Western Africa and Southeast Asia, where people mainly rely on agriculture as their main form of economy, as climate change is causing these locust swarms to increase and increase their damage, the lack of these crops spikes down the economy, so there's no more money. And people who are in developing countries are usually the ones producing so many crops, and that is going to actually reduce the amount of nutrition and food. So there might be more starvation in those areas. On wildlife, locust swarms target crops such as corn, cotton, oats, and peanuts, and they also target citrus types of trees and certain types of grasses. This is going to affect mainly animals that graze, like such as cattle or sheep, any type of livestock. And this actually does relate to humans too, because any livestock herders, anyone who makes money through meats and eggs and poultry, stuff like that, it's also going to be affected by these locust swarms because they have less food for their animals. And that brings us to the end. Thank you for listening.